Hey everyone, welcome to BBTV, and I am RN Roy Christina, and I have my special guest Shannon VSG, who is also joining our team as a guest host. So I'm very excited. First of all, we just want to start off by saying we so apologize. I had to create a new Hangout. Unfortunately, it kept asking me to verify my account, so I couldn't run the showcase and I couldn't run the Q&A. So I do apologize. If you know. Wait. Okay, getting rid of that. Sorry. Did you hear that
Okay.
too? Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm a new host. Give me a break. But anyway, so yeah, so we apologize for not having any of the features available for you guys. So we're just gonna kind of hang out and pick Shannon's brain a little bit about her journey, and we will have her on in the future. So we will have a lot more time to sort of get used to our hangout and create questions and so on and so forth. So just kind of want to let you know. So Shannon, how you doing? First of all, how you
I'm
doing?
doing good. How are you?
I'm good. How was your day?
Yeah, it was pretty busy. I had a long day at the salon and then rushing to get home and then all of this, but we're here now, so.
Okay. Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about, I know you're brand new to the community and, you have a family and so on. So why don't you let people know just a little bit about yourself and how you got to the journey and how you made your decision, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so I'm Shannon. I'm 25. No, I'm 24. I'll be 25 in January. But I live in California. I have two beautiful children, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I had BSG August 3rd, 2014 with Dr. Shadle in Roseville, California. My highest weight was 298, and right now I'm at 217. 25 of that was lost pre-surgery, um, so yeah, that's me.
So how did you come to make the decision to research the surgery, or like do you have family that kind of encouraged you to do it, or were you just kind of like, did your doctor recommend it to you, or how did you get just to the actual direction of weight loss surgery?
Well, I was actually researching having the lap band back in 2009. I wasn't quite as heavy as I was at my highest this time, but that just didn't work out. The doctor ended up putting me on phentermine. And of course, like everyone else, I'd done the Weight Watchers and the Atkins and the phentermine and just all kinds of stuff to get the weight off. I've been overweight pretty much my whole life since I'd say probably 6 years old was when I started really gaining weight, and then it just kind of developed from there. But yeah, so I was going to do lap band, that didn't work out, and then last year my mom had gastric bypass, and so that kind of brought up the conversation a little bit, and I just started researching and of course delving into YouTube and watching everybody else's journey, and decided that it was the right thing for me. Um, I gave birth to my son in June of 2013. And after that, my weight just kind of skyrocketed. And so that was kind of the point where I said, okay, it's time to do something about this, because I can't get a grip on my own. So yeah, that was my story. And it's going good. I'm happy with my decision.
Yeah, I noticed your progress is like super, like you're changing, you know what I mean, so rapidly. I see your before and after pictures. So with your mom, did you see like did because I noticed you had VSG and you said your mom had gastric bypass. Was there
Correct.
like was there like any particulars that like made you sort of ask your doctor or maybe gear into the VSG direction? Do you know what I mean? Like where you thought, maybe gastric bypass isn't for me, or was it just kind of like you just talked to Dr. Shadle and said, what do you think would be the best for me?
Well, originally I had planned on having gastric bypass just because I didn't really know a lot about VSG, and my mom had gastric bypass, so I figured that's what I would do. But uh, after Dr. Shadle, he was the one who suggested BSG, and then from there, I did my own research and kind of came to the conclusion that that would be the best thing for me as well. So yeah, that was how I decided pretty much.
Did you, when you were just like talking to your doctor and stuff, did you like, when did you like discover that maybe social media would be helpful, like in doing some of your research? Or,
Hmm.
did you know anyone, you know what I mean, that said, hey, why don't you like go on YouTube and, you know what I mean, and research since you had a family member that was already going through it? Like, what brought you to social media?
Um, Basically, I guess my own research, and not my boyfriend's the only one in my personal life that knows that I'm even on YouTube. So definitely wasn't anybody in my personal life that convinced me to do it. But I don't know. I just kind of, it's something that I was thinking about, and I'm all about, kind of taking chances now and doing things that are kind of outside of the box. And I just put a video up and I got a good response from it. And so it's kind of just snowballed from there. This
Do you,
community is amazing. So who wouldn't want to be a
yeah, I
part of
mean,
it?
yeah, I mean, to be
So
honest,
thankful.
I can't wait for us to like go to WLSFA, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
When you made your videos, did you like, were you looking for like, as you started making your videos, like, were you watching, like a couple of people that you kind of saw that were a little bit further out or that were BSGers as well? You know what I mean? That made you like kind of just see their journey, and then like kind of think, I wonder if I'm going to go through that, or you know what I mean? Or were you just like
Mhm.
kind of going on your own since like a lot of people in your personal life and a lot of people around you didn't know, you know what I mean, that you were really going to like do something like this?
No, I definitely was watching for a long time before I made my own channel. So, um, yeah, I uh,
Do
I
do
kind
you
of
have
just, saw what other people were doing and just put myself out there.
do you have anyone that you feel like now, let's see, you're 4 months, right? 4 months out, I believe, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm like going on 4 months. So,
yeah. So do you
yeah.
have anyone that's inspired you, or anyone that like you really kind of go to, or kind of really like
Mhm.
follow their journey closely? Is there anyone that you like, really
Yeah.
look up to at this point, or?
Well, I remember in the beginning when I first started watching, she doesn't make videos anymore. Her name's K Star.
Oh
You know who I'm
yeah,
talking about? Yeah, she's pretty
absolutely, yeah.
popular. I really liked her. There's another girl. Her name's Kristen Renee, um, and she kind of stopped making videos too. But she's like a makeup artist, and so I kind of related to her a little bit. And she had gastric bypass, and then one of the ones that I found early on was Nirvana, and then of course the Pretty Losers and Trisha, and then Miss Beautiful Alicia, and those are all people that I was watching for a long time and have looked up to. So
Aw,
hey, hi if
Alicia.
you're watching.
Aw,
Yeah.
how sweet. So with your, so tell us a little bit about like your personal life, just like in general, like, are you married? How old are your children? Like, and how are you incorporating this journey since it's so new into your sort of family life? Do you have people around you that are really supportive? And you know what I mean? Because you're
Mhm.
kind of approaching the holidays now, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what do you call that? Like unfamiliar territory, going into just trying to learn how to eat, and then, you know what I mean? Being around family members and things like that
Mhm.
with the holidays.
Yeah. So everybody in my personal life is super supportive of my weight loss surgery. I definitely, um, even though I don't tell people about my YouTube channel, I'm an open book as far as my surgery goes. I pretty much tell everybody. And so, anyways, so what was the question again? Oh, about my life. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And your kids
so
and stuff,
yeah,
how old are they and stuff, so on. Yeah.
yeah. So I've been with my boyfriend for 7 years. We're not married. We have two kids together. My son is 2 and my daughter's 5. And I'm a hairstylist. I work at a salon, and um, the girls at the salon especially are super supportive. We're really close. We're like a family there. Most of us went to cosmetology school together, and our boss was an instructor. So I get a lot of support from work, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you have like really
And then
amazing
as far as
talent.
like the holidays go, I'm really not that nervous about it. I've never been a huge fan of holiday food in general, and I feel like holidays are kind of the one time that you should allow yourself to have a bite of pumpkin pie or whatever you want to have. Of course, all in moderation, but I'm not that worried about it. If I want to have a bite of something, I will, but obviously in moderation and know what my sleep can handle. But I guess around the holidays, there's a lot more sweets and stuff. It's not just like the day of the holiday. It's just, pumpkin spice lattes and gingerbread cookies and all this stuff. But yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good so far.
So being so early out, like, what have you discovered, like, in terms of like, following the regimen and kind of? I know you just made a video recently, like you were taste testing, I guess, or doing reviews
Hmm.
on some different products you're finding. So, like,
Yeah.
have you discovered at this point at 4 months that you like are sensitive to anything? I know some BSGers talk about that they possibly dump, and I don't know if you know what that means yet, but sometimes when you eat something that's a little overwhelming for you, then you get like sort of physical side effects, that cause you to sweat or your heart to palpitate or, you know what I mean? You feel like sick all of a sudden and you have to lay down. So in your
Yeah.
particular experience, how are you adjusting, to food, and how are you like just kind of easing into teaching yourself, with your particular body and the way it's working?
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't noticed. I don't think I have dumping. I think if I did, I would know. It sounds pretty terrible, but I think it's more just like if I eat too much, I'm uncomfortable. But I really haven't had anything yet that's made me like super sick. I do get heartburn now, so that's the thing. If I have anything that's too acidic, that kind of sometimes can make me throw up or gag. It's you know kind of like reflux, I guess you could say. So I keep
Wow.
the Tums on hand.
Yeah, yeah. So in terms of like working out or exercising,
Hmm.
do you have any kind? I know you talked about a little bit in some of your videos that you were gonna like build a regimen, and you're still so early in that,
Yeah.
I mean, you learn with yourself, what you're really committed and ready to do. So with you, I know you were talking about planning a regimen. What do you have planned in
Hmm.
terms of like getting a little bit, more into exercise and so on?
Yeah,
Do
so
you
I was
have a
actually
plan?
gonna go today to sign up for the gym, but everything was just crazy. I had a client and she ended up I spent like 3 hours on her today. It was crazy, but yeah, definitely the gym. Plan on doing that. But I definitely want to start doing some weight training because as of right now, the weight's kind of just falling off. So I don't think that cardio is going to necessarily be as important as some weight training for me. So I'm looking to get into that. Of course, I'll do some cardio as well, but I'm planning 4 days a week. That's how much I work, and the kids are in daycare those days, so that's what works best for me. But other than that, I do some at-home things. Jillian Michaels, she's hardcore though. And some walking and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely would like to get into a better routine, and that's one of my goals. I'm actually planning or striving to be at Wonderland before Christmas or on Christmas. So the gym is definitely a part of that plan.
So with your, how is your loss going? I know some people, I've noticed that like some people that I watch and so on, even for myself, I think in
Mhm.
the first month, I think I lost so much. I lost like 26 pounds or something crazy like that. So do
Mhm.
you notice now going into, because I mean, it's, I'm almost 4 years out now, so it's kind of hard for me to remember like how it kind of tapered off, because I know within the first year, I think it's around 9 or 10 months, I believe you slow down just a little bit. So with your first month and so on, what are you averaging right now, would you say?
I would say about three pounds a week. I don't know. Sometimes it's like 5 pounds. Sometimes it's 2 pounds. It just kind of varies. And I haven't really had a stall yet. I did maybe the like 3 week stall you hear about. I think I lost like a pound. but I haven't stalled yet. I'm kind of waiting for that because, I've heard around 3, 4 months is usually people will have a stall. So, um, but yeah, it honestly, it's just kind of falling off right now. It's crazy. Even when I have some weeks where maybe I, didn't pay real close attention to my protein or my water, and I'm like expecting, not a very big loss, and I'll lose like 5 pounds. So I don't think I have really like an average weight yet per month or per week.
Yeah. What are you doing in terms of your regimen of Because I mean, I'm gastric bypass, so I know our vitamins regimen's a little bit different, I believe. But
Mhm.
what are you doing, that's helping you with your vitamin regimen to make sure that you get in your vitamins as well as your water? Like, how are you gauging that right now?
Mhm.
Like,
Well, with my vitamins, I do it twice a day. The problem in the beginning was the calcium. I was supposed to take it like 3 times a day, and then I had to take my iron, which you can't take with the calcium, so it was like 4 times. And I haven't talked to a nutritionist about this yet, so I don't know if this is totally wrong. But I take uh, my calcium, my multivitamin, some biotin, my B12, and vitamin D in the morning. And then at night, I take iron, and then I also take folic acid because I heard that's good for your hair. So um, that alone, now that I'm only doing twice a day, helps because before that, it just felt so overwhelming, and I just wouldn't take them at all. So if it's not the best thing, maybe it's not the best, but at least I'm doing it instead of just avoiding it completely altogether. And then water, I buy a lot of different cups. I'm a sucker for like a sparkly cup or something. But I do like those Hawaiian punch flavored packets, the sugar-free ones. Other than that, I just drink plain water. I don't like Crystal Light or any of that.
did you, before, you started your journey, were you a water, could you do water? Do you know what I mean? Like, just in
Mm,
general, like, or did you struggle with it? Because I know a lot of us, like, are like, water is the
yeah.
hardest thing to do every single day. It's like,
Yeah, I definitely like going through my 6 month pre-op diet. I was good with my water. I had no problems. But now it's really hard for me because when I eat something, I know they say like wait a half an hour, um, but for me it takes like at least an hour to be able to drink. Like I don't know. I just don't have the room in my stomach. It's super uncomfortable for me to drink after I eat. So that's kind of hard because it's like, how do I get in enough like food to be getting in all my protein, but then get my water in too if I'm having to wait so long in between. So that's kind of where I'm struggling right now.
yeah, I think that's like kind of like I don't know for VSG because I didn't have VSG, you know what I mean? But I know like just the restriction, the tightness that you have. Do you know what I mean? In the
Yeah.
beginning, and your food kind of just sits there, and you could just be eating the smallest portions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of stuff, and it just like, oh my god, I'm just waiting.
Mhm.
You just wait to like, and even when you kind of go like even a half a bite too far, you have to just be like, okay, I'm totally paralyzed right now. Like I just have to wait.
Yeah, I know.
Like you. So
I know.
yeah.
I'll be eating something and like I'm like chewing, 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 and then I'll like go spit it out because like as I'm chewing, I realize that that last bite was the last one I can take. So I'm like, sorry guys, like I have to spit this out. I can't swallow it. It's gonna be all bad. So.
Yeah. So with your so let's move on. Like let's say what do you think first of all has been like your first NSV, because I think that's like the biggest thing, right? Like we all wait for
Mhm.
is what can I do that I couldn't do before, and then what is going to be your ultimate NSV? Like I know some people like what they do is when I was starting to watch people like in 2011 I believe it was, like people were making like their goodbye list. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of all
Yeah.
the things to farewell. And then like there were people like, making their list of like all the things they were like determined to do,
Mhm.
just once. So what do you think like is your most surprising NSP so far? Like as fast as you thought, like maybe you thought it was going to be further out, And then what
Yeah.
is your ultimate NSP like that you're
Mhm.
preparing yourself for?
Well, definitely fitting into jeans that like I had when I was like 17 was nice. Also, I posted a picture on my Facebook. I took a picture with a couple of girls at the salon, and it was like full body. We were all wearing boots and plaid that day, so we wanted to take a picture. And I didn't look at it right away. And then later on, my boyfriend was scrolling through Facebook, and I kind of saw it in the corner of my eye, and it's like, that's not me. You know, like I didn't recognize myself at all. And it honestly brought me like to tears that um, I wasn't taking up like so much more space than the other girls. Like I wasn't standing out, you know. I was so used to taking group pictures and me just like filling up the entire freaking frame, and just the fact that it was like, you know, obviously I'm bigger than them, but still in the picture it was just crazy to me. And I still don't really. It's only when I look back at or look at a picture that's taken of me that I can see myself for the size I am. But you know, obviously it takes your mind a lot longer to catch up. So I'm still kind of dealing with that. But ultimately, oh, another cool fantasy I have to say was Halloween, taking my kids trick or treating. I walked the entire time, and my back didn't hurt, my knees didn't hurt, I wasn't tired. I was able to like actually enjoy myself. So that was an awesome NSV. Um, I do have a goal to ride a roller coaster, even though I feel
Aww.
like I might be able to now, but I remember like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we were at a fair and me and my boyfriend went to get on a ride, and like it wouldn't go over my thighs, like, and it was so embarrassing. And ever since then, I'm like, would never ever try to get on any other ride. So when I finally do that, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I do have plans for my birthday to go to Six Flags just in January. So I
Oh,
think by
yay.
January it'll be good.
Well, you're already looking for, I mean, seriously, like, because I know we talk, you and I talk, and you
Yeah.
still, like, and when I see you posting stuff on Facebook, you're like, I just can't believe it. And, like, you are just stunning, seriously. And I told you when we met, because Shannon and I met, she came over my house, and her boyfriend, of course, thought that was super weird.
Yeah.
But I was basically,
I
asking.
I totally did text him your address just in case I showed up missing. I did. This is where I'm at.
Yeah, so what I did is I showed Shannon where in my office, this is my office that I do this from, and I was showing her, like how I was setting it up. It's not all done yet, but, and so, of course I made this little teeny platter because I was like, oh my God, I'm so far out, like I can't remember what can I have for her. Do you know what I mean? That's like healthy and like safe. So I
Mm-hmm.
made her this teeny little platter, and I forgot to take pictures and post it on Facebook, but yeah, like we met and stuff, and I was, asking her to be a part of the show, and it's just like it was super cool to meet somebody first of all that just like has the same surgeon, goes to the same office, lives nearby. That is like totally odd, like seriously, because I've been watching people for a really long time, and there are people that live sort of near me. You know what I mean? Like San Francisco, near me that way, but
Yeah.
not like where I can say, oh, I mean, I've made plans to try to meet some people, and I've even invited you that we could travel, not far
Yeah.
away. But anyway, yeah. So Shannon came over, and I just remember like her like. We kind of clicked actually at the same time. It was really cool to meet somebody. But I remember her boyfriend kind of saying, "What are you still doing there?" You know what I mean? Like we went to have some lunch and stuff, and that was kind of it was kind of a neat experience, I think, too, right? Because we went to Chipotle, and we were kind of
Mm-hmm.
not certain of what you could try to eat, and I was even showing her actually the size, a portion size, that I could actually eat at this point, because you're not going to change. I mean, your body's still going to like prevent you from eating large sizes, and
Yeah.
so just that whole experience of hanging out with someone so new, and being with someone that's kind of further out and two different surgeries, it kind of still is all relevant. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just, I
Mm-hmm.
felt like we just had a really good time. But one of my main questions I wanted to ask you is, because I probably totally got off track and just a tangent right now, because I was going somewhere with that and I totally just forgot. I don't even know what the hell I
Okay.
was doing. But anyway, I wanted to ask you mainly about like your I met somebody at work recently that had lost over 100 pounds. She had lost 140 pounds. She's 19 years old. And
Wow.
she was talking about the surgery, and what was weird is that something that sort of always is interesting is people that talk about the surgery that have never had it, right? They don't know anything about it. But she
Mhm.
was talking like she was so educated on it, which was really interesting to hear. But she was saying that she had a lot of people around her that discouraged her from having surgery because of her age. So with your mom having the surgery and with you choosing, do you think that you ever thought about like maybe I'm too young, or do you think it was better that you did it now, or like how did that ever even cross your mind? You know, in terms of like making the decision as well, in terms of your age and stuff, or you just were really ready?
I think my age definitely, was something that I thought about a lot. And that's actually why I chose VSG, is because, obviously I'm going to have to live with this much longer than, somebody in their 50s or, you know. So the vitamin deficiency was a concern of mine. Um, but yeah, I think that I definitely took a lot of thought to have, do something so drastic at a young age. And I think that, you know, um, my age was also a factor in the sense that, I'm 25, I'm still, young, and I have my whole life ahead of me. And, I've heard people say that their only regret is that they didn't do it earlier. And I just, even though I'm going to struggle with my weight and I'm always going to struggle with food, I wanted to try to win the battle somehow at now, instead of waiting until I'm 30 or 40 to have the surgery. So
I
yeah,
think
I think
it,
that
I mean,
didn't
I
change at
really,
all.
well, no, I really think that, I think that if I would have had a family member that did something like this, I don't know if I would have did the lap band, only because personally, like, I'm really against putting foreign things in my body. I'm just like weird about that. But like, if I would
Yeah.
have had somebody that I could see as an example, you know what I mean? And I was a young
Mhm.
mom, especially, I would definitely just consider it, because I feel like, look how, happy you are now that you could do something with your kids. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
weren't like, because I know you mentioned that too when we were having lunch, that how you got long-winded really quickly, before
Mhm.
now, and you
Yeah.
like were just having problems walking. And I think you said you were trying to take your kids to the pumpkin patch or something last year, remember? And you said something about
Mhm.
that, that you couldn't kind of last, and like how much better it feels just to be able to like, you know spend some
Yeah.
quality time, with your kids, and just, be able to
Mhm.
enjoy that. So
Yeah,
I
because
just
before, I mean, I felt like I wasn't really there in the moment. I wasn't present because I was so in my head of like, I'm uncomfortable, and obviously it's hard to run around after two little ones, and it's stressful. And when I don't have to worry about being tired, it makes it a lot more pleasant and less stressful. And I'm able to be in the moment and enjoy it. So, and I think, I have two kids, so that had a lot to do with it. That was definitely my main driving force, was the fact that, I want to be a good example for my kids, and I want to be around for my kids, and I want to be the best mom I can be. So
aw.
I'm going to get all teary eyed on you.
Anyway. um, so right now, with your go-tos, what are your go-tos right now? Like, are you a shake person? Are you like able to tolerate
Hmm.
bars right now? Or like, what is your like, just give us like an example of your day. Like, what works for you right now with calorie wise, and like just portion size, and different supplements you're using,
Yeah.
to get your
So,
protein?
Gene Pro has been like a huge help for me. Gene Pro protein powder. It's 30 grams of protein. I think it's like 160 calories, but it mixes really well in coffee. So in the morning, that's basically my shake, is my cup of coffee. I do drink Premier Protein. Um, I keep it really basic. I have in the morning, I'll have my cup of coffee. I might have an egg with some piece of, with some cheese. I eat a lot of meat and cheese. That's pretty much, for dinners, I like to do a lot of seafood, shrimp, tilapia. That has always gone down really well for me. So I kind of just stick to what doesn't make me sick. I can do like chicken and stuff like that, but it doesn't go down as easily as the fish does. And then as far as bars goes, I like Atkins. bars, the stats, it doesn't have the best protein, but those are really the only ones I've been able to tolerate. Although I do want to try that Quest pumpkin bar or pumpkin spice bar. It looks good.
Yeah, I was just, what's
What else?
weird is,
Yeah.
what's weird is I was just in Sunrise Mall, yesterday, and or the day before, I can't remember, but and we walked by, the GNC, and they're like totally promoting those bars, and all I could do was just stare. But the only reason why I didn't stop in there and get one is because me personally, like, I have such a hard time with sweet stuff, like, and I heard Quest bars, like, I've never had, I didn't do the Quest bar thing through my journey, so,
Yeah.
but I heard that they were very sweet, like, I heard just, like, if you're a person that likes sweets naturally, then you would really like that particular product, but for me, I just, I love pumpkin anything, but I just really hadn't, like, kind of made those a go-to, because I was scared that they'd be too sweet and
Yeah.
I'd get sick, so.
Well, I was a huge sweets person before surgery, but now like everything is so sweet to me. It's weird. Like I'm not a
Oh,
sweets
yeah.
person at all. It makes me sick. I mean, not it doesn't like physically make me sick, but it's just makes I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't taste the same. It's not good.
Yeah.
And then also I like to do like when I go to work, I'll pack like some almonds, some of the dry roasted, like individual packed almonds. I also found at Walmart they have edamame that's just in the
Oh,
single
yeah.
serve. It's a single serve bag. So I like to, I stick to a lot of things that are just convenient to kind of throw in my purse and take with me. Beef jerky, the Ostrom bars, Ostrom protein beef jerky sticks. Those are really good. Um, I forget the stats on those. I bought some jalapeno ones, but they were way too spicy, so I was going to try their. I think they have like a peppered one or something.
Oh yeah, I like spicy stuff too. And it's terrible how much like
I
I
do,
love.
but I can't now because it gives me heartburn. It sucks. And then you can't drink when you eat, so how am I supposed to eat something spicy?
Yeah, I know. It's just it's crazy. Like so, do you what? I know one of the questions for Takesha that came up was what was her breaking point? So what do you feel like was
hmm
your breaking point? You know what I mean? Where you were just like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. Like I'm so over this. Like when
Yeah,
did you reach that? That time in your life.
yeah. I can't think of like one specific moment, but like I said, after I had my son, I gained 50 pounds within like 6 months or so. Like it just came on really fast, and it honestly felt like I just woke up one day and I was like, wait, like I was busting out of my size 24 pants. Like I was gonna have to like start buying new clothes, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna buy new clothes. Um, I need to get this weight off. And then just seeing, I remember in September of it was 2013. It was my daughter's fourth birthday party, and I just remember seeing the pictures, and it was like, okay, now I don't know. When you see a picture of yourself in front like that, it kind of shows you what you actually look like. Um, that was definitely kind of like, okay, I'm definitely a lot bigger than I think I am, and this is definitely a much bigger problem. And then also dealing with my mom's alcoholism, I started going to therapy, and I just really started delving into um, dealing with my own issues and who I am as a person. And I really realized that food was a much bigger issue than I had. I think I was figuring out for a long time about my food addiction. So that kind of coming to light, and the fact that I was busting out of my clothes and just so unhealthy. I couldn't be on my feet for a long period of time, and it was affecting everything. So,
And do you think that, because I know you said you're not only a beautician, right, but you're a makeup artist as well, right?
yeah.
A professional makeup artist. So in your industry, do you think also that, that also made you think about changing, or because I don't know much about the industry itself, but I know it's a lot of standing on your feet. You know what I mean, all day. And
Yeah.
I was wondering if like maybe do you know people in your industry as well that like struggle, with obesity, and because you're really good at what you do. I mean, seriously,
Thank you.
some of the pictures that you post in terms of like, you just did a fall. Remember you did like the dark lips and the fall colors, and man, it was. I always tell you, I wish I knew. I was in Sephora yesterday going, what the hell do I buy? I was just like looking all
Thank
over,
you.
trying.
Yeah.
So in your industry, or what you do for a living, I know you
Mhm.
talked about that you may change careers, but
Yeah.
like, do you think that because I know you also made a video on maybe you might stay right in your industry.
Yeah.
So do you think that just that has made any kind of effect or anything on
Mhm.
you moving
Yeah.
forward, or just thinking about what you're going to do next or something like
I
that?
think that part of it is definitely that just unfortunately working in the beauty industry is super shallow, and a lot of it is based on not only your, I mean, yeah, it is based on your look somewhat. Like I would say 80% of it is personality and how you present yourself and your level of professionalism, and like 20% skill, as long as you're decent at it, like, and if you have a good personality and, you look like you got it together and all that, then you're going to do well. But I think my weight has held me back in the sense that, because even at my heaviest though, like, I don't know, I always played it off like I was a lot more confident than I really was. Like when I go into work and I'm doing someone's hair, or I'm at a gig doing someone's makeup, it's like a show for me. Like I put on a show. I act so much more confident in myself than I really am. So I don't know how much that really, being heavier affected me in that way, but I do notice that as the weight comes off, I'm more confident in myself, so it's not an act. Like it's actually like I do feel good about myself, and it's easier to, make somebody else feel good about themselves when you feel good about yourself. But I think that I definitely was, uh, my weight was holding me back, because I wasn't going for the things that were going to make me successful because I was too afraid. I think with the weight loss, I'm just more comfortable with myself. I'm more comfortable with my skill. I'm taking opportunities that I wouldn't have taken beforehand because I was too, you know, wrapped up in my own head. So I think, yeah, I think it's making me more successful in my career in that way.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, when we met, I encouraged you to, because you're really, you know what I mean? I feel like when someone has a gift, like, regardless of, everyone's beautiful no matter what size they are, no matter what they look like, seriously. And if you're talented at something, I feel like I do understand, just as a person that's been heavy, that how you always sort of doubt yourself, or you feel like you need validation, do you know what I mean, from other people to feel like you are, like, you know what I mean? Like it's okay that you're entitled, you know what I mean, to
Yeah.
have the same
Mhm.
success as everyone around you. And I know that
Yeah.
you and I have always have also talked about Marlena, Makeup Geek on YouTube. She
Yes.
has just millions of followers, and she's not from Sacramento, but she recently moved to Sacramento, and so she's based here now. And
Mhm.
she started out also very, very heavy, and she was just adorable, though, you know what I mean? Like she's very down to earth, and as we both know, she has a great personality, and just her embracing her experience. She did not have the surgery, but she did lose over 100 pounds on her own. And I think also just sharing her struggle, and you know what I mean, and just really focusing and knowing that she was ready actually to do it at that point, to make the change. I think also just helped her, really kind of peel off the layer and just be, sort of almost even, it enhanced
Mhm.
her talent. So I
Yeah.
really, I feel like if you're gifted at something, I feel like you should never let what you physically look like prevent you from growing. You know what I mean? Because,
Mhm.
um, I feel like you're so young, and you have such a potential, to really be successful at what you do for a living, and you do it really well. So, I just it's just kind of cool that the beauty industry is so huge. I mean, especially on YouTube, it's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, you know. And
Yeah.
I know you and I talked about you joining, you know, our show and stuff. And maybe Shannon was thinking about, for all of you guys that are watching, Shannon was thinking about talking about doing some videos on skincare because you know, we as women, as our hormones and our skin changes, and our sometimes too, we were talking about people lose weight and they kind of get certain indentures and, you know, different types of things happen to their face, you know,
Yeah.
as they get you know, as they lose their weight. And so she was talking about possibly making some videos to help people, you know, to show them how to take care of their skin as those changes are happening. So I hope that you do that
Yeah.
because, you know, I mean, everybody goes through different things, but I think just as women, you know, no matter what age we are, you know, you can't get enough of learning how to take care of yourself. Even men, you know, because I know men
Yeah,
get,
men
right?
too.
Men get
Yeah.
facials, men get, you know, pedicures and mani-pedis and all that stuff nowadays, so it's
Yeah.
not like a big deal. But so I hope that you do that. So I wanted to also just address some of you guys that are watching. I know we see some of the viewers that come, they're kind of flashing. I see 5, 6, and then 2, and then 1. Let me just let you guys know right now that I could not get the Q&A application with this particular Hangout. The reason why my original event didn't work is because it was telling me to validate my account over and over and over, and I just could not get. So I don't know if this is an older version of the Hangout or not, and so I wasn't able to showcase Shannon's Instagram, but she is on Instagram. I will put that link below us when the show is over, in case you want to follow her. And you know, unfortunately, we could not, like I said, implement that Q&A application with our show. But I do want to say that if you guys are tuning in, or anybody has seen the link posted on Facebook, I have our Facebook up on Internet Explorer right now, and under that link, if you want to go ahead and just post some questions for Shannon, if you have any, I'd be happy to address those and ask her, you know, on your behalf right now. So we tried to, you know, kind of promote the show a little bit earlier this week and try to get some questions, but unfortunately we didn't get a lot, and so I'm kind of just winging it, like I always do.
You're not supposed to tell anyone that. Jeez, you're fired.
So you know, but we have that you know, everybody's on different time zones, and it's like flowing through the Facebook and the Instagram and all that stuff. You know, it's been kind of hard to like put questions together. But anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that I'll be refreshing the Facebook page right now. It is 7:31 our time, so it would be 9. Let's see, 8, 9. Right, 8, 9:30, 10:30, probably on some of you East Coasters. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Also just wanted to let you guys know Shannon will be joining the, you know, our cast, staff, whatever you want to call us. So you'll be seeing her as a co-host periodically on the show. She will not appear on every show, and actually none of us actually will be appearing on every single show. I'm doing this month alone because I'm bringing in each person that I'm adding to the cast of BBTV and letting you guys kind of get acquainted with them, and then we'll start rotating guests and hosts and so on, and bring you some pretty exciting stuff there. But yeah, so what are your goals at this point? Because now you're at 4 months. So where would you like to see yourself? Like, because I know you and I I was talking about, hey, let's do something kind of to challenge ourselves by the time we go to WLSFA, and you were like, well, I don't really have, you know what I mean? You were already like had plans for yourself. So where are you thinking in the next 4 months you want to see yourself, or what are some of the accomplishments that you'd like to see yourself at that point?
Well, I plan on being, you know, under 200 pounds by Christmas. So I guess that really, as far as weight, that's the only kind of goal I have right now. By then, I would like to have a established, you know, exercise routine figured out. Um, that's about it. Like I said, you know, I don't, in my adult life or teenage life, I've never been of a normal weight. Uh, so I have no idea what I'm going to even look like under 200 pounds. So I kind of had like a rough estimate in my head of like 160. I'm 5'6", but even then I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see when I get there and see how I feel. I would like to maybe lose 10 to 15 pounds less than kind of what I should, because I know there's kind of like a a bounce back regain of about 10 to 20 pounds typically. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I know I want to be under 200 by Christmas. So that's my short-term goal for now. That and getting
Um,
the exercise routine.
Or do you have any fears, like within this first year, like, watching other people? I know one of my fears was my hair. Oh my God. Like, I lost so much hair. I took a picture every single time I
Mhm.
took a shower because I freaked out so much on hair. And I used biotin, of course, because everybody says, take biotin. But I also used
Yeah.
nioxin. I used the nioxin line, the whole time because my hair was thicker. It was actually to my butt when I first started, and I cut some of it off. Oops, my charger fell. But I think biotin and nioxin worked really well for me. So do you have a hair regimen, or do you have any fears like going through like that you're afraid of? Because I know a lot of us are freaky about our hair, but like, do you have
Yeah.
any like?
Well, the hair actually, I think I'm starting to lose it. I I've been noticing like it's not at an alarming rate, but I'm definitely like shedding a lot. So that's kind of scary. But I'm taking my biotin, I'm getting in my protein, I'm doing everything I can. So I might start doing the nioxin. They have like some scalp treatments and stuff like that. Um, and then if my hair gets to a point where it's just ridiculously thin, like I'll probably cut quite a bit of it off because I notice ever since I started shedding, it's just getting like tangled because the hair starts to come out and then it gets tangled with my other hair. So it's kind of harder to manage right now. So I was thinking about maybe cutting quite a bit off and then maybe getting some extensions or something because I like my long hair. But
I know me. I was like that too.
yeah, the hair is definitely it's so what it's so shallow and like not important, compared to what you gain. But it's still being a girl, of course, I'm worried about losing my hair. Um, any other fears? Obviously complications. That's scary. I know I made it out of surgery fine, and I haven't had any complications so far. But people get complications 6 months out, a year out, 5 years out. It's a lifelong thing. It's a permanent change that I made in my body. Um, so that's definitely a fear of mine.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't expect some of my complications, but I think, I look at it this way, like kind of, that if it was really detrimental, you know what I mean? Dr. Shadle would have had me on that table, like, do you know what I mean? Like right away. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm blessed that even though I'm having some stuff go on that, at least I feel like I'm in good hands with him. He is a new surgeon to me, but I mean, I really, being at that support group, and stuff, just, I'm so glad you took me because I went one time at UC Davis when I was really early in, like yourself, and just wanted to know what it felt like. And I didn't get the same vibe. Like, I just love the way that he's engaged in his crowd. I really, appreciate that. He takes the time out to, to answer questions and be part of the conversation. So I just want to say thank you for taking me to that. But,
Yeah.
I just think that's and it's going to be just really cool to go with you to other ones. I know her and I, when is the next one? I think it's what, next weekend
It's the
or something.
17th.
Yeah, so
17th.
so if you're from the Sacramento area or Sacramento County area, Shannon and I will be attending the next support group for Dr. Shadle's office. That is actually not in Roseville, right? It's not in Roseville, California. It's actually in Sacramento, right? I think you said, or is
Elk
this one going
Grove.
to be in? Yeah,
Elk
so it's
Grove. We
gonna.
missed we missed the Roseville one.
Yeah, so
The
unfortunately
Roseville
we missed
one
the
was like
Rose.
the third. Sorry.
Yes. No, that's
I'll
okay.
shut up
So
now.
no, but like I'm glad anyway. Just because I know there was a local girl that was wanting to meet us, and just to let you know, we
Yeah.
will be at the Sacramento meeting, on the 17th, and we're gonna have henna. We're doing some henna to our hands.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of fun. We were trying to do it before the show, but we didn't get to make it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So and Takesha wanted me to tell you that she is watching. She adores you.
Hi, Keisha.
she
Hi,
instant
girl.
messaged.
How you doing?
She mentioned you. She
Oh.
instant messaged me, so I wanted to make sure that that I let you know. So let's see. How about shopping? What's going on with that? I saw you take some dressing room selfies. So are you
Yeah.
having fun shopping lately?
Yeah, I actually, well, I just ordered some workout clothing, you know. Same thing with like the cups. If I get a sparkly cup, I'll drink the water. If I get a cute outfit, I'll work out in it. So that's kind of my theory with that. But I don't know. It's hard. I'm trying not to buy a lot of clothes, you know. But when you see something cute, you got to buy it. So.
Well, some people say, some people have been really like into the thrifting. I don't have that talent, man. I've been to the thrift stores before, and I'm one of those people that'll be like, I'm not paying no $10 for a used pair of pants.
I know. I'm much more of a clearance shopper than like thrift. I get irritated. Like, I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like,
I feel like that too. Well, I mean, because I feel like, our department stores, like discount stores here, like, we can get stuff for dirt cheap that's brand new. Like, so why thrift?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. And some thrift stores are kind of expensive. It's like, why would I pay $5 for that shirt?
Well,
like, I don't care that it's freaking name brand if it's like old and tattered.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like if it's a coat, right, that's like $100 or something, and we go to Crossroads or something and it's cheaper, all right, or something, but like just regular tees and pants and stuff. I feel like there's Ross, so because I get my pants. I'm literally the cheapest person on the planet. I pay $9.99 for my pants, but with my regain, I went really crazy last summer and bought so many clothes that are literally hanging in my closet because I was so excited about losing that. What I would do is I would go to like Ross or like to the mall, or whatever, and then like find clearance stuff that was like all sizes. You know what I mean? Like, and just think like, okay, well in 3 months I'll be, I'll be a 10, and then in 3 months I'll be an 8, and then here, let me just grab this 4 because that's challenging. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
And all I do, I have this pile. I'm not kidding. I have this pile like this big, and I'm giving it to the girls now, my sister and my son's girlfriend and all that stuff, because she just lost 50 pounds, and I'm ending up like sad because like I didn't get to. Well, I mean, I can hang on to them, of course, but like I was saying, like I feel like clothes are so cheap. Like right now, the only thing that I feel like is super expensive and investment. There's 3 things I think that are like investing, and that's ink and shoes, and sometimes. I don't know, maybe like a purse, but I'm not a bag person. You never told me if you were a bag person, but I know there's a lot of people that
I buy like, oh my gosh, I have to do one of those like what's in my purse videos because no, actually, you know what, I would never, because literally it's like my traveling trash can. Like, it's so bad. Like, I carry a bunch of trash. Like, that's just like, if I don't like to litter, I just throw it in my bag. And it's disgusting. But I'm not like, I'll buy a purse and I use it for like a year or 2. I just like, basic black bag. That's what I carry.
I know.
I'll spend money on like, makeup, hair. I've always gone really cheap on my clothes.
No, speaking of though, like, because like I'm serious. I was in Sephora, right, and I don't go to Sephora like ever, hardly ever, because I don't know how. I'm serious. Like, if my sisters aren't with me and telling me what's new, or like I've asked you to drag me to the mall so you could show me, but I'm not kidding. I mean, I went into Sephora, right, and I was looking at all these palettes and stuff, and like I was like, some of these palettes are like $80, and I mean, I like. Who I was with said, why don't you, how long does it last, first of all? Like, if it's $80, that's fine. Just, like, how much, like, if it lasts all year, then what's the problem? So, I mean, I feel like it just depends, like, on, if I'm educated on, like, what to buy, then I'm totally for it. I just didn't know how, like, seriously, I don't, and I went to the mall with Jim. So, like, I went to the mall with Jim, and I was like, what do you think of dark lipstick? Because I've never been a dark lipstick person because my skin is so dark. And like you were saying, Shannon, just so you guys know, told me that like my concealer is like 5 shades lighter than my skin. And then she got... No
offense, girl. Still love you.
And then she was like, okay, what is going on with, like, what else did you say? Bronzer.
I need some bronzer. Where's your bronzer? This shit's too light.
Yeah, so like,
what do you mean you don't have bronzer?
So I was like, just because I want to be like everybody else. else, right? Like, I want to wear the pretty red lips and like the dark, deep wine lips, and stuff. And I was just like lost. Like, if I go by myself, like, I just don't really know what to look for. And I know my son's girlfriend really likes, is it Stila or something?
Stila.
Yes, she really loves those eyeshadows and stuff. And I went there, I was going to get her some actually last year for Christmas, and they were like $35. I was like, okay, let me just go over here and buy her some shoes.
Actually, right now is the time to buy makeup because they're coming out with all their holiday gift sets. So if you go to Sephora or Ulta, they have like amazing deals around the holidays.
Well, you're going to have to show me how to do it, because, like, I even went into Victoria's Secret, too, because I love Bombshell. Like, it's my favorite. This girl showed me the new scent, I guess, that's out for the winter, like Bath and Body and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just really love Bombshell, so I feel like some of the gift sets are worth it, at Christmas time, but I just don't know how to buy, like, really smart. I honestly don't. I don't know how to buy, like, perfumes, and I don't know. I used to like the light blue Dolce until everybody was wearing it, and then I kind of got like, I don't like that anymore. So yeah. What else was I going to ask you? There was something else I was going to close with, and I can't remember. Let's see. So WLSFA, you guys, we're going to Nashville. We booked our room, and we are planning on going to Nashville. We have never traveled. I've never been to an event all this time. And so if any of you guys have tips and tricks for us to, use when we travel. If you guys know, someone asked me about the flight, and I don't know anything about booking flights. Do you? Because I know there's a couple of people that live around us that are flying out, and I'm so hoping that maybe we can get some pointers from them, because
maybe we'll be on the same flight. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be another thing, is getting on an airplane. That would be like a cool NSV. Because I remember getting on an airplane when I was like 15, and I did not fit in those frickin' seats, man. Like, I felt bad for the person that was next to me.
That's
I'm hoping this time my butt will fit.
That's like a major NSV. A lot of people post pictures, that they can do the seatbelts. You know what I mean? Like, It never gets old. It's kind of like crossing your legs, like that never gets old ever.
Yeah.
Like, Like, just, there's so many little things that, like, add up to such big things, and you kind of just have to grin to yourself because nobody understands.
Yeah, like, man, I know.
I know the one thing that dawned on me last year is because I was at my lowest. I think the lowest I got was 150.2 or 150.6 or something like that. And I was like, well, first of all, I was just happy that I could wear short shorts, and I'm like fucking older than God. But like I was wearing these shorts.
You're gonna rock those though. I rock them.
Exactly. Yeah. But the one thing, and I don't know if you'll relate to this, but the one thing that got me really excited about doing that was I bent down, right? I was on my knees, like, bending down, like bending my knees and with my butt hanging over my, ankle, whatever. And to get up, to like lift myself up and not feel like it was hard. I know that sounds retarded, but that was like, I was like, oh my God, I have to tell somebody, because that's like the weirdest thing, like to feel, you know what I mean? To not have to like try. I don't know. It was just a weird thing that I like got excited about. But
no, that's awesome. I must have been like 13 or something. I went on this field trip with my anger management class. We had to go on this one. Yes, believe it or not, I was put in anger management in high school. The teacher just didn't like me. But I had to go to this like group therapy building thing, and there was like all these like trust falls, and I'm like, I'm 13 or 14, maybe 15, but I'm like 250 pounds. Like, who the hell's gonna catch me? And it was like the worst day of my life. And we had to do all these exercises, like one where you sit down and you kind of put your knees up, and then you hold, the person in front of you does the same, and you hold hands, and you have to like say 1, 2, 3, and you both get up. And it was not happening for me, like, at all. Like, it was so embarrassing. So I could see how, something like that would be pretty exciting.
Well, I mean, it's just, I feel like the NSVs, for some of us are just like, well, crossing your legs, I guess, is really cool anyway, just period.
Yeah.
Because there's like nothing like crossing your legs. And I've never really been a big major cross my legs person, But I mean, I did realize when I could do it comfortably, I was like, damn, I can do that. You
Yeah.
know? But like just the little things, you know, it's like I feel like sometimes just strange stuff like I remember being heavier, like at my heaviest. For me, my heaviest was 205, but just walking, like trying to take initiative and walking a little bit, my shins would kill me. I mean, literally, it would feel like somebody was stabbing knives in my shins. And then, you know, as I got like smaller, I was just like, man, there's nothing like just feeling light, you know, or even putting some of my heels on. Because I mean, I have tons and tons of shoes, but to be honest, I just always was too heavy, you know, to wear them all. And I saw this movie with Cameron Diaz, and it was a story of sisters or something. But she was saying something like, her sister was saying something like, you know, clothes don't fit, you know, nothing fits, but shoes always fit, you know. So like that's the reason why I kind of got adapted to shoes, because like clothes shopping was like so depressing all the time, you know, that like shoes never let me down kind of thing. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so I just, you know. So what about the last thing I wanted to talk to you about really quick was like, I know a lot of people, as they lose weight, like especially during winter time and stuff like that, a lot of people were getting really excited about being able to wear riding boots. You know, like having certain things fit over their calves and stuff, and you know, just different types of clothes and stuff. Do you feel like too that you're just like getting to, you know, like really happy and excited that you're able to do different, you know, buy different things, and now that you're going through the
Yeah.
stages, or
Yeah, well, the boots I definitely still have to buy like a wide calf in, but I actually, oh, they're actually right here. I bought a pair of, they're like combat boots,
half
these,
calf?
and I would never have bought these before because I carry a lot of weight in my thighs, and like I just thought it looked funny, like having like a little tiny boot with like big thighs. So that's kind of like I wouldn't have bought these, you know, before surgery. So I'm excited about those, and those are good like for work. Yeah, I'm like really excited this fall to just for the fashion because I feel more comfortable wearing certain things.
Yeah, and the last thing is just in the beginning. I know we're gonna run over about 5 minutes, but it's fine. But I remember right after surgery for me. I know we talked. Takesha and I talked a little bit about this on the last show, but right after surgery for me, I went through like a depression thing. Like, what did I do to my body? Have
Hmm.
you experienced any kind of blue moments where not just about the surgery period, but like just as your hormones changed and stuff? Have you like experienced any blues or like just, you know, weird down moments or like anything that you can like, you know, share that like just kind of made you feel like, I don't know, in a weird place maybe, you know, or because
Yeah.
you said you can't think, like you say right now, like when you look at photos, you can't believe it's you. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
how is your mind adjusting to how fast your body's moving, kind of thing?
Well, I definitely had like a immediate regret. If you guys follow me on YouTube, I think it's like my 1 week post op, and I'm like crying, and like I have like no makeup on, and like I was like literally like thought that I was dying, so I was so upset. It's funny now that I think about it, but yeah, I definitely regretted it, you know, in that moment. But um, you know, yeah, my emotions have been a roller coaster, but I feel like the last like year, ever since I really started working on myself physically, mentally, emotionally, I'm fucking cool. Sorry.
No.
Excuse the language. I am
I think
I'm cuckoo. Like I'm crazy. Like one moment I'm like, wow, I'm so happy, and the next minute I'm like, I hate my life. Oh, yeah.
well, you know, I think that happens, to be honest, I just go on the real with you on this one. But I mean, I think that happens actually till you level out. You know, I really honestly think that you're going to go through different phases. You know, your body's morphing right now, like literally. You're going to come down and you're going to level out a little bit, but I still think, and I think a lot of us that are post-op, like, you know, getting out there like 4 or 5 years, I think you know, your body really doesn't level out and allow you to kind of balance, like I was talking, you know, to Takesha with, until about, I would say probably 3 years, you know, to be honest. And I think the only thing I can say as a person that, you know, that's experiencing regain is always remember in the back of your mind that regain is real. Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't
Yeah.
take advantage of this first year, dive into as much as you can change yourself as possible. That's body, mind, spirit, everything. If you can't
Yeah.
train yourself to make those changes, then there is a possibility, you know what I mean, that you
Mhm.
can indeed gain your weight back. And I would honestly say to always keep the realistic, area of it, that 20-25 pounds is always, it's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you'll start talking later, like, oh, at my lowest. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll go, like, but now, I'm not too unhappy. There's a lot of people that say, well, I've had a little bit of regain, 15-20 pounds, and I'm okay with that. But, like, when it goes up further, then, whoa, I'm so not okay with
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's all I can tell you is just, enjoy your first year. Just really commit yourself to as much as you possibly can in terms of change. And that's all the way around, as just
Mhm.
a complete overview. And, just enjoy it. I mean, this is the one place and the one time in your life that it is okay to be obsessed with yourself. It's okay to celebrate yourself. It's okay to take 1,000 selfies a day. You know what I mean? It's okay. Like, and use social media as much as you can because it's going to be the safe place for you. Sometimes I feel like some people in our lives, they support us, but they don't understand the change. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like, okay, well you've enjoyed it enough. You know what I mean? Calm down, calm down. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
there's just, I mean, if you can't enjoy all the hard work you're putting into this and all the trauma you put your body through, then what is the point? So I think that, there also comes a time when you reevaluate all the people around you as well and just see who is really good for you and who isn't. And when you make that, that choice to decide what's good for you and what's not. So in closing, since we're at 7:55,
Okay.
but what would you at this point say to any girls that are younger than you, that are like in a place where they're, oh, we froze, I don't know why, but that are thinking about this decision? What could you give them that's positive moving forward?
I would say do your research. It's not. I will say that watching people on YouTube, even though I did a lot of research, it's not as easy as it looks. It's really not. And if you're not ready and willing to make the change, then it's a waste of your time. But I would say that this has been the by far the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. And if you're ready and you're willing to do the work, then it's going to be the same for you. And that's probably what I would say. I would say, do your research and really think it over. For me, it took almost a year to get my surgery. Even though I was super bummed at the time, knowing that it was going to take so long to get my surgery, I'm glad now, like looking back, if it would have been, like 3 months, like it is for some people, I just think that that's like just crazy fast. So I had a lot of time to work on myself. Emotionally, that's another thing. Weight loss is definitely all mental, so you have to work on your mind even more than you work on your body. If you work on your mind, then the body will follow. So that's my advice.
In the wise words of Shannon. I agree. I actually
Yeah.
agree. I really do. I think those are great. And I think never think that you're too young. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
at a medical stance, of course, listen to your doctors and follow their orders. But I always think that, if you can put yourself in a better place, at an age where you can, sort of prevent and not feel like you have, like not feel like, oh, I
Yeah.
should have did it earlier, then I definitely, would say to other people, I don't know about you, but I always tell people this was never, there's nothing I regret about this. Like it's been the best thing that I've ever done for myself, even with the regain, because I mean, I'm working to remedy that situation, but at the same time, I feel like, we did this for a reason, to save our lives and put length, and
Yeah.
quality to our lives. So I definitely would encourage anybody to look into it, do your research, and make the decision for you, and don't let other people dictate to you what they think is healthy for you. So
Definitely. So
go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. No,
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
was just saying that I think that a lot of people like, and other people's personal lives have too big of an effect on your decisions. So, I was lucky enough to have people support me, but even then, I didn't tell a lot of people until the surgery was set and final, and it was just like, this is what I'm doing. I just thought I would let you know. I'm not asking for your opinion. You know,
Yeah,
make the
no,
decision for yourself.
I totally agree. I also want to just, before we close completely, I want to say Alicia sent us a message saying that she loves us both and she adores you, Shannon. You're absolutely stunning, and she can't
Hi.
wait to see you continue to evolve. And so yeah, so that's us, people. Thank you so much for joining in. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what is going on with Google, but I see a lot of people are having issues with their Google Hangouts, and I apologize if you could not comment. That's what the Q&A is for, and that's what the showcase is for, to kind of give you a little bit of outlets, to find us and stuff like that. So I do apologize if you guys couldn't comment, but we will be back next Wednesday. Thank you so much, Shannon, for being on the show. And again, you guys will see. And you guys will see Shannon again. She'll come in and be a co-host with us for different guests we have coming on. So thank you guys so very much. We so apologize for keeping you for so long, but you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.